Hello and welcome to the Body Doubling Club. I am your host, Tara Pratt. If you're new here, welcome to the BDC family. This is where we do things in real time together. It's body doubling all the way so that you can get stuff done. If you are new here, just to let you know, it's a lot more casual here. There's a lot less editing. I'm on a completely different mic that I can move around the house with because I do try and do these in real time with you, or at least talk you through in real time. Today, I'm looking at decluttering one room together. I'm going to choose my wardrobe, but maybe you could do your kitchen cupboards or your bathroom cabinet. You could get rid of some toys if you've got kids. You could declutter some of those hobbies you've never gotten to. Whatever you like. You could even just go through your doom boxes, or in my case, I've got a doom room. I've got a full room of doom. But today, I'm going to ignore that and I'm going for the wardrobe. So, first reminder is we're always aiming for improvement, not perfection. We just want to end this time together in a better place than we started. It's not perfection. We're not expecting to get everything done all at once. We just want to make progress. Any progress is good. So, if you're stuck in ADHD paralysis at the moment, I was like that this morning as well. No shame here. But I'm here to tell you we're just going to stand up. Just get up, just stand up, just shake your body a bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up you get. Give yourself a shake. Right. We're going to prep. We're going to get set up, whatever that means for you. So I like to do a little ritual, whether I'm cleaning, whether I'm decluttering, whether I'm getting ready for work. I like to make a little ritual that tells my body, okay, now I'm getting ready to do something. So my ritual is that I'll throw my hair up in a bobble. I will light a candle. You could light some essential oil or just spray some of your favorite spray. I always think smells affect me really well in a positive way or a negative way, actually. Like just bringing back a nice smell just puts me in a better mood. Then you want to basically set the mood. I like lots of light. So I like to mostly do tasks in the day. I like lots of daylight and I like lots of bright lights as well. I can't stand doing things in the grey or the dark. So whatever that means for you, you might like candlelight. Whatever that means for you, just be doing this while I'm telling you. This is a real time thing that we're doing together. Be getting your comfy clothes on if you like to do stuff in comfy clothes. Get your nice clothes on, get your shoes on if that helps. I know a lot of ADHDers feel like they can do so much more if they just leave their shoes on during the day. Make yourself a cup of tea or a coffee, particularly when I'm doing something gentle like sitting down and decluttering. I like to have a nice cup of tea or a coffee. I've got a cup of tea right now. I'm just going to have a little slip. So, once we have once we have gotten ourselves ready and we've prepped, now we're going to set the scene up. We're going to set ourselves up to win. So, clear a space. And if you're not up to where I am, if you're still getting ready, that's fine. Just follow along, just keep going. We're here together. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. I am just keeping you company while you're doing whatever declutter you want to do. So we're setting the scene. We're going to clear a space where you can look at things to make decisions. So decisions about what you're keeping and what is going. So I'm choosing today the bed. So that means I have got to make the bed. It's actually not too messy this morning. It's usually covered in toys, but Theo, my son, cleared them away this morning. So all I've got to do is literally just pull the covers up. So I'm just making the bed nice and clear so I've got a big space to sort things out in. If you're doing the kitchen, maybe just clear one area on the tops. You don't have to like organize it. That's just going to slow you down. Just scoop it all onto one side and leave one clear side so that you've got somewhere to work. If you're doing the bathroom cabinet or something, you could clear a space on the floor. And then once you've got your space, have a few bin bags ready. So you want bin bags ready for things that you're throwing out and have more than one, because the key to these tasks and doing stuff in real time and body doubling is we don't leave the room. We stay in that room that we're working on until we're finished with the pod. Because once you get into another room, particularly with ADHD, that's when we're going to get distracted. We want to be set up for when we don't want to have to leave the room once we start this job. We want to get set up. So have several bin bags ready for throwing away stuff. And then you might also want like a fancier shopping bag. I get massive bags from, what's it called? The Entertainer. You know, that toy shop. They sell like massive bags for like £1. So whenever I'm shopping for Theo's birthday or something, I get one of them and they're really sturdy. They also do like the big bags in IKEA or where's the other place? Can't think right now. Oh, Costco do big bags as well. But you can use either fancier shopping bags or a nice big box. If you've got some Amazon deliveries recently, get something that isn't a bin bag for things that you're going to donate or sell. Or maybe you want a maybe pile. I don't really like maybe piles because then they just sit there forever and a day. I like them to be going somewhere. I like to have a direction for my things once I've sorted them. But you want it to be distinguishable from your bin bag so you don't accidentally throw something out that you don't want to throw out. So and also you might want a little pile for seasonal stuff. So if you come across, I mean, it's January now. You can listen to this at any time, by the way. It doesn't matter what time of year. You could listen to this in 6 months from now in summer. But whatever isn't seasonal, you might want to put away for now because it's just cluttering up your wardrobe. So it's like -2 here today. So if I find a bikini, I'm probably going to put that in a holiday box to get out in, I don't know, hopefully May, if we're being really optimistic. So the aim today for me is to only get rid of definite no's. So if you're like me, I do have hoarding tendencies. I like to collect things. That's just my natural way. I collect a lot of tat. I do a lot of impulse buying. Luckily, it's never anything really expensive, but it's bits of stuff that I think will be really useful and I never use in my life. So I have a real hard time letting go of things. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm only getting rid of definite no's for today. But before we do that, so we can decide what those definite no's are, I want you to stop what you're doing right now. Close your eyes if it's safe to. I hope you're not driving because this is a real-time pod, so let's not be driving. But wherever you are, if you can sit down, if not, just stand there. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. And now, with your eyes closed, I want you to think about the finished result. What do you want this to look like? And then I want you to put yourself there as if you've already done it. How does it feel? What does it look like? Imagine yourself looking at your relatively organized, calm, peaceful new space. And just have a couple of moments feeling those feelings of how good it's going to feel once it's done. And then you can just keep feeling those feelings. Open your eyes whenever you want, or you can stay like that while I'm just talking. But for me, that means I can actually see what I have. So I can make choices on outfits really easily and I can keep on top of the system. Obviously, with ADHD, consistency is just out of the window. I don't even pretend to myself that I'm going to be consistent. But if I have designated space and if I don't have too many items, it's more likely that I can continue with that system. So even though it might look messy at times, when I do come to clean it, it's going to be a lot easier to put stuff away because I can see exactly where it's meant to go. So open your eyes. Have you thought about what you want it to be? I want to keep clothes only if I either really love it for its quality or how I feel wearing it, or because it brings me comfort. So it could be like the oldest jumper in the world, but it's really comfy. It makes me feel relaxed. It's got holes in it. It doesn't matter as long as I'm wearing that quite often. I don't want to keep something that I'm not wearing. And you can use this for whatever you're sorting out. It includes stuff in the kitchen cupboards or whatever. If you haven't used it for a long time, it doesn't matter how attached you are to it. It's pointless. Take a photo of it if it's something really sentimental. Obviously, like really sentimental stuff, like from, I don't know, people you've lost and memories like that, you can keep, but try and have a designated area for them so they don't overtake your stuff. So yeah, I want to keep it if I really love it and if I feel great wearing it, or because it brings me comfort. So I'm not going to keep anything I'm only keeping because I might wear it one day, or it was a bargain and I feel like, this expensive item I got for really cheap, I shouldn't throw it away because I won't get it for that money again. Or especially, I'm not keeping things if I'm hoping to fit in them again. Like, my weight has fluctuated quite a lot over the last couple of years. By the way, as I'm talking and I'm telling you these stories, if you are new here, you can start. You don't need to wait for me to start. You can start just getting things out. I will tell you before you do start, just do it one space at a time. So don't get everything out into that clear space. For example, if I'm doing the wardrobes, I'm just going to get one drawer out at a time and look at my things. Okay, I'm going to carry on talking while you're doing that. So, yeah, where was I? Oh, yeah, I'm not keeping something just because it was a bargain or because I'm hoping to fit in it again. So, my weight has fluctuated a lot over the last couple of years, particularly in lockdown. I put on a lot of weight for me. I wasn't heavy by any means, but I've always been very slim and I couldn't fit in any of my clothes and I was only wearing loungewear. Then, just after lockdown, I got diagnosed with ADHD, went on medication, and started exercising daily and dropped a lot of weight very fast. And I'd thrown out all my skinny clothes. So then I had to buy really thin clothes for me. And then as I got used to the medication, as my body got used to my new exercise routine, I didn't change anything, but I just put on a bit more weight. I'm a healthy weight now. So I have got in my wardrobe clothes that are way too big for me, clothes that are way too small for me, and what fits me currently now. And I know realistically my weight does jump around a lot without me doing much. Not my weight actually. It's only a couple of pounds either way, but my dress size does change quite dramatically with just a couple of pounds. It's just the way I'm built. And I do hold on to both ends of the spectrum. I hold on to some of the bigger clothes because I want something that fits if I put on some weight. And I hold on to the smaller clothes in case I drop weight as well. But thinking about it, that's totally a lack mentality. And I'm choosing a new belief from today, and I choose to believe if one day I do need those sizes again, I will have the means to get it at that time. And it won't have been taking up space and stressing me out for years, holding on to these things that I might never use. If I do need them in the future, growth mindset says I can get them. And I've done that in the past, so I don't see why I've been telling myself that that's not true. So, as I was saying before, try to work area by area. I am working on one complete drawer at a time in full. So, I have a drawer for gym stuff, drawer for tops, drawer for trousers, and generally they all do stay. Obviously, I've got lots of drawers for underwear and stuff, but generally they all do stay together. But sometimes things get mixed in. Sometimes when I'm in a rush doing the washing, there's a couple of socks that aren't mine that get into my sock drawer. So we just want to empty one drawer at a time or one shelf at a time in your cupboard. And we want to first go through it and bin the obvious things. So things that you can see straight away are broken, you haven't worn for ages. Maybe they're white and they've gone a bit discolored, or they're black and they've faded a bit. Get rid of the obvious stuff and then sort the rest into categories. So if I've got my gym stuff, I'm going to sort that into leggings, tops, hoodies, and then I'm going to keep them all together. I'm going to go through them and I'm going to decide what are the ones that I love, what are the ones that I'm just not that keen on, they're not good quality, they don't fit anymore. Have a look through them and you're going to decide, are they good enough to keep, as in donate to someone, like someone would want to keep them other than you, or to sell, or are they just, they've had it, they're ready for the bin, they need to go to the big clothes store in the sky. And we're going to decide that, and then we're going to put them either in our bin bag or in our fancier bag or box, depending where they're going to go. So when you've done that, you should have an empty drawer. you're going to clean out that drawer or clean out that shelf. So I should have said this at the beginning, actually, but you need some kind of cleaning substance to like clean out the drawer. I am going to quickly run and get my Hoover from the hall, my little handheld Hoover, and use that. And I've already got some spray in here because I pretty much have cleaning products in every room because I always forget to take them with me. Just going to have a slurp of my tea while you're doing that. Okay, so we clean out each area as we empty it. So that might just mean wiping a little paper towel around it, get the dust off. It might not need a deep clean, or it might need a proper spray. So I'm going to let you keep working on that because obviously this is going to take some time. And while you do, the idea is I'm going to just tell you stories that will be related to decluttering, or maybe they won't be. They might just go off on a tangent. They're going to be not so boring that you get bored of this and you want to go on to a different job, but not so interesting that they're going to distract you from what you're doing either. That is the idea of this body doubling club. I'm just here to keep you company and keep you inspired and also tell you what a good job you're doing. If you've even started this episode, if you're even trying, if you've even joined the body doubling club, you are doing more than a lot of people are doing. You are trying and you're trying to improve your life. And wherever we get to over this time, it's going to be an improvement. It's going to improve your life. It's going to improve your mental health. And we're going to get it done together. So be carrying on with your jobs. And I'm just going to talk you through some things. So what can I tell you? I find not to inspire impulsivity and more online shopping, but I find making labels for each area that you've now sorted is really helpful because in the moment you think, oh yeah, I'll remember this system. I'll remember exactly what I'm putting where. And you come back to it like a week later to put away stuff and you're like, oh sugar, where did that go again? Also, try and put things in, like if you're rearranging where things are going, you're rearranging your organization after you declutter, try and put things not where you think would be the most effective place or the most, clever place to put them. Put them where you look for them. So where do you naturally look first for those items? That's where you need to put them. It needs to work with you. Oh, and I forgot to say as well, when you are putting things back, once you've got your stuff into categories, put it into one drawer, at least one category. So for me, the main category for that top drawer would be gym. Now I've put it into leggings, tops, and hoodies. I will put it all back into that one drawer. So that drawer will still just be labeled gym. But for now, I am going to keep the categories separate. I know realistically they're not going to stay separate once I'm rushing in the morning and looking for gym stuff. It's all going to get mixed in. But I've sorted it into categories now, so I may as well just make my life easier in the short term by putting, it's quite a wide IKEA drawer. So I'm going to put leggings on the right, tops in the middle, and hoodies on the left because that's the order I will pick them up in for now. But that is my one category. If I went in there and I had a mix of stuff, like I had gym stuff and just normal jumpers that I wear every day, I would tend to try and keep the jumpers out and find a different spot for them going forward. You can do whatever you want. Obviously, this is just my tip. Be carrying on with your big declutter. You're doing well. Remember, just keep the things you love. You don't have to get rid of the maybes. You can keep them for now if you want. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Just a definite no's need to go. And if it feels good to get rid of a maybe, get rid of it. That's fine. So my big declutter last year, just to give you some tips going forward for when you finished. Last year I did a massive declutter and it was really good. I spent like the whole of January doing the whole house room by room. It felt amazing. But there was a lot of good stuff because, as I said before, I do tend to hoard. And also, the kids get a lot of presents and stuff like that that they just don't ever get to. And they grow so fast. Sometimes they have clothes that they've never worn. So there was a lot of good stuff. And I swore that I would sell it because it was just too good to get rid of, too good to donate. it would be nice to have the extra money, obviously. So I put it all in boxes, and I didn't have anywhere to put it at the time, and I was going room by room, and I didn't have time to actually think about selling it. So I'm very lucky. I have got a garage and a loft, so that's where all the boxes went. And I was like, right, when I've finished decluttering, I'll sell all them. But of course, out of sight, out of mind, I totally forgot they existed. It is a blessing to have those spaces to put stuff in, but it's also a curse when you do have hoarding tendencies because you can just buy and buy and buy and shove them into that garage, never to be seen again. So unfortunately, a lot of stuff, some of the boxes broke and like spiders got into it, and then it had to be binned. There is still a lot of stuff from last year left over that I do still intend to sell. But actually, my tip would be for you, when you start to declutter, schedule it. If you know there's going to be stuff you want to sell, schedule it before you even start putting stuff into boxes. Okay, maybe not today, but this is a tip for the future. Or maybe at the end of this podcast, that's the first thing you're going to do is look online for a car boot sale, book a stall, so that you are actively looking for stuff to sell on that stall and you're ready to go and you know it's going to be out of your house by this certain date. Or schedule into your diary a date and a time for you to go down to the charity shop and give these stuff in. So if you're decluttering, say on a Saturday, make an appointment for Sunday if it's open with yourself. I mean, obviously you don't make appointments generally with charity shops. But here's a good example. So those bags that you get in the post, like charity bags, I get them all the time. It's like, we're collecting for the Salvation Army, or we're collecting for this, that, and the other. And they actually give you a little plastic bag to fill as soon as I get them. So sometimes it's hard because I don't check the post every day. But it's when I get them and it says, okay, we're collecting on Wednesday, that will signal to me, okay, let's do a big declutter on Tuesday night, or let's start Monday night and declutter some stuff and fill that bag. Because all you got to do is leave it outside your front step and they'll come and collect it, which is amazing, because it is that step for me of getting it actually out of the house that is hard once I've decluttered. But yeah, just make that appointment for yourself, or make that car boot sale stall time. Or, if you want to sell stuff on Vinted, schedule it into your diary. This is the time that I'm going to spend taking photos of stuff and uploading it to Vinted. Don't just put stuff into boxes and think you'll figure it out later, because 9 times out of 10 with ADHD, we don't figure it out later. We just leave them like doom boxes. But it's worse than a doom box, because it's stuff you're never going to use ever again because you've already decided to get rid of it. So that is my tip. Don't make the mistake that I made last year. Also, for parents, I'm sure you probably know this tip, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. If you have got a child like mine, or 2 children actually, I've got one stepdaughter, Sophia, she's 14 if you didn't know, and I've got Theo, who is my biological son, who is 6. Now, both of them like to hold on to stuff. Soph is a bit better than Theo. Like, she will declutter some stuff, but like if I ask her to, she's got so many things that she hasn't used for years. And if I ask her to declutter, she will only throw out about half. Theo used to be amazing at this. When he was younger, I'd explain to him how the things would go to children, because he didn't really understand the concept of a charity shop and them earning money by selling those things. I would tell him they go to children who didn't have toys. And he used to be very good at decluttering. That used to motivate him a lot to send things to the little girls and boys that didn't have any toys. But now that he's 6, I don't know what happened, but he's just become a lot more clingy to his things. And he doesn't play with half of them. He plays with his iPad. He plays with he got a little hoverboard thing, hover cart. He plays with that. He plays with his Lego. And then he just plays with like cardboard boxes, or he makes things out of paper. And there's so many toys, so many action figures that he just does not bother with. But if I mention trying to get rid of them, he's like, no, I play with that, And it's just not true. For example, there's this space tent that I bought him. He used to love space when he was about 4. He's now going to turn 7 in April. And he just doesn't use this space tent. He's not that into space anymore. So I was like, and it's massive. It takes up a big part of his room. So I was like, I'm going to get rid of your space tent so that we can make. And he's like, no, I love my space tent. Where will I play hide and seek? I love it. So I was like, okay. And then it came to Christmas, and this is my hack for you: hide the stuff. Whatever you want to declutter, don't tell them. Just get it all together and hide it somewhere. And then, whatever time you want to set for yourself, I usually leave it about a month. And if in a month he hasn't noticed that it's gone, I'll give it away or I'll bin it. So at Christmas, we needed to put a put up bed in his room for Soph to sleep on because we had family sleeping in her room, and this space tent was just in the way. So I was like, we'll just take this down for now so that Soph can sleep in here. And he was like, yeah, okay. And he was excited for Soph to sleep in there too, because they love having little sleepovers together. Um, so I took it down then, and then I just didn't put it back up. I've just left it in the garage, and I'm just waiting to see if by the end of January he actually notices. And if he does, fair enough, he can have it back, because, that means, yeah, he did care about it and he does want it. He's not just being clingy to that item. But if he doesn't, I know he doesn't need it, he won't miss it. So that's my trick. Don't give them away straight away. Don't bin them straight away, because our little people, they're very sensitive. We know ourselves as ADHDers, childhood trauma is not fun. So what is important to them might seem silly to you, but let's not just give it away straight away. Just take it away and test it. If in a month they don't care, then they're never going to care. And that is my tip for parents. Where are you up to, by the way? Are you doing well? How many bin bags can you fill? Are you keeping things that you love? Are you finding things that you forgot that you had? Are you excited to use them? Because it's going to be so good when you've done this and you can actually see them and use those things that have been hiding in the back of whatever you're decluttering. So, what's my next tip? Oh, yeah. So, one of the first steps, and if you follow the podcast, I'm assuming if you're in the Body Doubling Club, you do follow the ADHD Fest podcast, which is my free podcast that goes out every Friday. But the Body Doubling Club covers this a bit as well. I am very into the law of attraction. I'm very into manifestation. I'm very woo woo. I like crystals as well, but I also like the practical science side of manifestation. Whether people believe in law of attraction or not, it's just the same as setting goals and achieving goals. It's just we like to think of it as magical or we don't. It doesn't really make a difference. It's just focusing your mind on what you want. And I read a lot of self-help books. I read a lot of law of attraction books. And one of the authors that I do love is Denise Duffield Thomas. If you haven't heard of her before, she wrote the books Lucky Bitch, Get Rich Lucky Bitch, and Chillpreneur for entrepreneurs. And she recently was diagnosed with ADHD as well. And although I never knew I had ADHD, she never knew she had ADHD. I definitely clicked with her writing and her style straight away. Us neurodivergents can spot each other a mile off even without knowing it. And one of her very first tips for any manifestation, for bringing any goal into your life, is to start by decluttering. So basically, the idea is to create space. We're making space in our lives and we're creating a vacuum for new good things to come into it. We're getting rid of all of that dead weight. We're getting rid of that old energy, that's anything that's holding us back. And we're creating space for good new things, our goals to come in. And definitely is an energy shift when you're in a rut of having that physical action, taking that physical action to make a change, especially when you're swapping things around. I don't know about you, but I can definitely feel the energy of that. I definitely feel lighter. I definitely feel relieved. And if anything, if you don't want to believe the woo woo side of it, that decluttering is the first step to manifestation, then you can definitely get on board with the fact that your environment affects your well-being, your environment affects your mental health. If, say, you're decluttering your office desk right now, you can't deny the energy shift that happens when you know exactly where your planner is, when you know exactly where that piece of paper is that you need, when you can walk in to your office, look at your desk, and it's clear. And all you have on there are the things that you absolutely need. It is so much easier. It creates just a more conducive environment for you to achieve those goals. So whichever way you look at it, decluttering definitely helps you with your life, with your goals, and with your improvement. So we're not ready to finish yet. Keep carrying on. But I just want to talk about when we do finish. So as we're going, we're thinking about doing one complete area at a time. I said that earlier. So we want to clear that space. We want to bin the stuff, categorize what's left, clean out the space before we put stuff back in. And then once that stuff is back in, we've completed it. We don't really want to go out of the room to take things anywhere. Just keep your bin bags and your fancy bags to the side. But we do want to complete each area at a time. And why we want to do that is because we could be called away at any time. We could be distracted at any time. I'm not sure if you're even still on the podcast with me right now. If you are, that is amazing. We've done 30 minutes together, so you should pat yourself on the back. That is amazing work that you've held in here so long. But if we complete every area bit by bit, if we're called away in the middle of something, we're not leaving a mess. There's no worse feeling than when you feel absolutely so motivated to get something done, say your wardrobe, and you pull everything out. You just pull it all out so that you can clean it, and you get in there, you get every bit of dust, you're on a roll, it's sparkling, and then you turn around and you look at the pile of clothes on your bed and you have run out of steam and you're like, oh my God, I can't go on. I can't do this anymore. And then you're left, even though you've done this amazing job, your wardrobe is so clean, you're left with this mess. You're left feeling more deflated than when you started because you haven't been able to finish the whole task in one go. And as ADHDers, we are overly optimistic in this. We think that we can get it all done at once. And that's why we start so enthusiastically and we rip everything out at once because we think, yeah, we'll get it all done. It's going to feel amazing. Let's do it. And we forget, it's like amnesia. Every time we forget that we're left with this mess at the end, or we're called away to something else. Life happens. We run out of time and we can't complete it. And we're left in a worse spot than when we started. So we want to finish off every little part as we go. We want to empty it, clean it, bin it, categorize it, and put it back neatly. And then we move on to the next area and we do the same in small, manageable areas so that if something comes up, if life happens, we can just chuck it all back in that little area and carry on. And it's not affecting our lives. We're not left with stuff all over the bed or stuff all over the kitchen counter or stuff all over the floor, which can really demoralize you and really put you off from starting these tasks. We want to make them achievable and we want to win so that we like to do it more often. Who likes to do a job that you end up feeling worse after? I'm really tired. Like, not me. So we're finishing every area as we go. Also, we want to finish off the whole job. When we finish, we want to put away any leftover categories. So I'm going to finish this pod up at a certain point, and you might be smack bang in the middle of an area. And I want to give you permission right now that you don't have to carry on past the end of this podcast to finish it. If you want to and you're in that mood, great, finish it off. But if you're not, there's no shame in just getting all those categories you've got on your bed or wherever, jumbling them all up and shoving them back in that drawer, because that's where you're going to start next time. And it doesn't have to be perfect in all of the drawers that you've done. You will have either thrown stuff away, which is amazing, or you will have cleaned that area, which is amazing. So whatever you do, wherever you're up to, you're going to be further on. You have my permission to jumble it all back up and shove it in the drawer. It doesn't matter. We'll start there next time. Make a mental note to start there next time. So let's talk about what we're going to do with the stuff that we have put in bin bags. You can still be decluttering. Don't worry, we're not running out yet. I'm just going to talk us through a plan in our mind while we're decluttering. So we're going to take our bags, the bin bags. What are you going to do with them? What is your plan? Are you going to take them outside? My recommendation would be, if you've got a wheelie bin, if you're in the UK, the big bins outside are called wheelie bins, if you didn't know and you're somewhere else. I like to take that out to the wheelie bin immediately. And I also like to take out my donation bags. So If they're the donation bags that are going out for the post, I can take them with my bin bags and I just leave them by the front step at the same time as I put the bin bags in the bin. Or the stuff that I'm donating that I need to take to a charity shop or that I'm selling at a car boot sale, I like to fill my car boot up with that. So I basically take all of my bags downstairs out of the house immediately. I don't like to put them anywhere else. So if you're in your jammies or your comfy clothes, is there a big coat that you can think of that you can put on and just some trainers so that you can do that immediately? Don't make the mistake of thinking, oh, I'll just leave it by the front door and I'll remember to take it out next time I go out, because I promise you, you won't. If you're anything like me, it's going to become part of the furniture and you're going to end up with bin bags forever in your hallway or, items to sell stuck in your garage forevermore. So I actually want us to do that now. So finish up whatever you're doing, start putting it away. If you're not finished, that's fine. You can either, if you think you're going to carry on after the podcast, just leave your categories out and we'll get to the bin bags. If you don't think you're going to carry on after the podcast, start putting what you've got out back into the space. It's okay that it's not perfect. It's okay that it's not finished. We have started at one point and we are at a more positive point now. We've thrown some stuff out. We have cleaned some stuff. It doesn't matter if you haven't finished. Just start putting things back away so that you can carry on living your life once you've finished this podcast. And don't forget, you can play this podcast whenever you want. You can listen to it 10 times if you want to. I'm sure I'll do more decluttering series, but you can listen to this tomorrow again if you want to get yourself motivated. Anytime, these are anytime body doubling podcasts that you can listen to. So once you put that away, I want you to stand up. I want you to find some shoes. I want you to put on a big coat. If it's hot outside, you're fine. Just put something on that doesn't look like pajamas. If you're dressed already, you're fine. And I want you to gather up your bags. We're going to gather them up all together, as many as you can take downstairs. If there's too many to carry, don't just carry them downstairs and leave them at the door and then go for the other ones. I want you to take them all the way out. So my bedroom's upstairs. I'm going to take 2 big bags of rubbish and I'm going to go all the way out my front door. Have you got your bin bags? The things that you're throwing away? If you haven't got much stuff that you've thrown away either, that is also fine too. This isn't a competition. If you've thrown 3 things out, that is a win. Just a little bit all the time is going to compound. Okay, we're taking our bin bags down, charity bags if you can fit them. We're going to put the bin bags out where they're going to go, straight in that big wheelie bin outside or straight wherever yours gets taken away from. And then if you are driving your stuff somewhere like the car boot sale, or if you're driving it to the charity shop, we're going to put those bags or fancy boxes in the boot of your car. If you don't have a car, we're going to put them somewhere that we know they're going to be there, and we're going to make an appointment. We're going to make an appointment with ourselves to take them. We're going to text someone who we think might want these donations, especially with the kids. For me, Soph had some lovely clothes when she was younger, and one of my friends had a little girl who's just a couple of years younger, and she used to love getting a big bin bag full of nice party clothes to go through. So yeah, you can text a friend if they've got younger kids than you or something, you want to give them some nice hand-me-downs. I like to also do a wash. So once we're off this podcast, I'm going to put on some laundry because it has inspired me to look after the things that I do love. I have found some things that I haven't worn for ages, but they're so crumpled and been in the drawer so long, they need a wash at this point. So that's what I'm going to do. While you're doing that, while you're getting your stuff together, while you're finishing off, while you're taking those bin bags out, I want you to think about how well you've done today. To get to the end of this session is really a big achievement, And don't fob yourself off. Don't have that negative inner talk like, oh, well, this is just basic and, you know, I should be doing this all the time. No, you've got ADHD, you've got a disability, you're neurodivergent, and you've done so well to do this. At the end of the day, ADHD paralysis is a real thing. Executive functioning problems are a real thing. It's a physical difference in your brain that you cannot help. And despite those things, you have decluttered for a whole, what are we on now? 40 minutes. You've spent 40 minutes decluttering. And I'm so proud of you. And I hope that you are proud of yourself. I'm proud of me for sure, because we just got to try every day, just a little bit every day is bringing us closer to where we want to be. So, as I said, I'm choosing to put on a load of laundry after this pod. If you want, you can go and relax. You should reward yourself for a job well done. Or if you've still got energy, if you're feeling inspired and motivated, feel free to carry on. Try not to go into hyperfocus. Definitely get yourself a drink of water right now. Have a little snack if you need it. But if you're still feeling inspired, by all means, carry on, tackle another area. Or you can always go back and choose a different BDC episode to try, one of the other Body Doubling Club episodes, because we've got them on all different areas. So you might get a kick out of getting all different things done in one day. I know I always feel the most productive when I feel like, wow, I've done so many jobs today. Even if I've just spent a little hour on each one, if I've like cleaned the bathroom and I've done laundry and I've done a podcast, I'm like, whoa, I have been mega productive. And other days where I've worked just as hard, but maybe I've spent the whole day cleaning the house and I haven't ticked off any other like life area, it doesn't feel as productive for me. So you choose what feels good for you. You have earned a rest. You need rest. So if you're feeling that way, please do go and have one. And as I said, you can always carry on or pick another area. I hope that you've enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget, if you are a member of the BDC Club, you can share with me your ideas. I'm open to any ideas for tasks for us to work through together. I really enjoyed doing it. It motivates me. I hope it motivates you. And I hope you have an amazing day. Well done. You've spent some time on you today, and I'll see you next time.